Hi everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Wait, evening. Hi everyone. Welcome to America. And I'm inviting everyone who is outside to come inside because we are starting really soon. Okay, so my name is Santika. I'm one of the e-guide here. If you have questions, you can find me or other e-guides in the member booth. And I want to let you know, if this is your first time at America is American Center, we are here on behalf of the U.S. Embassy to let everybody experience and explore the United States through our events. We have events every day except Sunday and Monday. And I want to let you know our upcoming event. It's about a concert. Katy Perry witnessed a teenage dream, and the singer is Nadia Fatira. If you are interested, you can bring your friends or your family here. Every event and every facility at America is free. And another one is Wonderful Augmented Reality. It will be held on Wednesday, April 3rd, until 5 p.m. here. And this is EducationUSA at America. We have advisors every day standing by for you to ask questions regarding studying in the United States. Whether it's bachelor, master, or PhD, you can just come in and ask questions. We will help you to the process and everything else in between. We are open on Monday until Sunday, every day, never closed. 1 until 9 p.m. and on Saturday it's earlier from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. This is our highlight for the past events. As you can see, we have lots of events here, and it's just different types of events. You can enjoy a presentation, concert, cooking demo, and everything else. I don't want you to miss any of the great event. So just go to our website, www.atamerica.or.id, click register or Facebook Connect, or you can insert your email here, and then you will click subscribe to get 1 email per week. We will let you know about the upcoming events. And we are very active in our social media as well. You can just mention us, AT America, and do the hashtag AT America for all of this: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Stellar, and YouTube as well. All right, without further ado, I will invite today's guest, Cameron Torreon, an alumni from Columbia University and a visa consul for our U.S. Embassy in Jakarta. Please give a round of applause.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Selamat malam. So first, I just want to say thank you to America. Thank you to all the volunteers that agreed to set up their tables and booths today. And then also a special shout out to FINA for organizing and putting the whole event together. We can give FINA a round of applause. So my name is Cameron Torreon. I'm a foreign service officer based here in Jakarta. I work at the U.S. Embassy as a vice consul. I've been here for about 10 months, and I'm really happy, especially to do events like this. Usually these are the most fun events. I really like interacting with students, and we don't have enough Indonesian students studying in the US, so I really like to encourage everyone just to think about it, at least consider it. And in my time here, I always usually like to clarify that I'm not actually Indonesian. I usually get Batak or Manado a lot. But my family's actually from the Philippines, and my family immigrated from the Philippines a long time ago to the United States. And for me, one of the biggest privileges I've had is I had the chance to go to school in the United States. So I went to SIPA, I also went to undergrad in the United States, and so that might make me a little biased, but I think that the US has some of the best educational opportunities in the world. And I would really just like to see more engagement and more Indonesian students in the United States studying, because I think it's helpful and also a really great partnership. So I have a quick kind of 2-issue spiel that I hear a lot when I meet Indonesian students, and it's always an issue of, can I study in the United States and should I study in the United States? So for the first one, it's always encouraging when I meet Indonesian students that are really interested in studying in the United States. But over and over again, I always hear this issue of like, well, I don't really know if I'm competitive. I don't know if I have the right scores. I don't know if I have the right finances. I don't know if I can study in the United States. So I always like to first plug our free resource. So we have a service here called EducationUSA. It's a completely free resource. And it's basically an education consulting service that tells you all about the requirements and will help work through all the different challenges that you might think about when you want to study in the United States. So your financial challenges, your TOEFL scores. So things like TOEFL scores, things like financial aid, those should be challenges, but they shouldn't be walls or impediments to you studying in the United States. And then the second thing I always like to say, especially being on the other end, so I remember being in your shoes now. So I was, going to grad school fairs. I just graduated from undergrad, and I was always really nervous about like, well, I don't know if I really belong at these schools. Like, these are really top-notch schools. All the schools here invited today are some of the best public policy programs in the entire world, right? And who am I? Like, I don't know, if I'm really a competitive applicant. And especially now, standing up here, I always like to say, don't self-select. Don't self-select in the sense that take yourself out of the running before you even start, right? Especially having gone to SIPA, having met a lot of other friends at other public policy schools, everyone here that's interested in pursuing kind of an advanced degree, just by the virtue of you being here tonight, showing the initiative and interest in exploring kind of the schools that you think will better yourselves is already proof enough to everyone here that you're willing to work hard and you have the determination and interest to see that through. So don't ever self-select. You're more than good enough to go to any of these schools and be more than happy to have you, right? So then the second issue of should you study at these schools is a little bit more general. And I always remember the graduation speech that we had for SIPA, and I won't, our graduation speaker said it better than I could ever say it, but he basically laid out, all these issues, right? So we have a lot of global transnational challenges that are really, really complicated, from transnational extremism, food and energy issues, public health issues, epidemics, just a lot of really daunting and complicated issues, right? And it should never be, in the way he framed it, which I really appreciated, was it's not a matter of should you, but really these challenges need answers, right? And it's really encouraging to see the people in this room and that are interested because as a public policy student, I like to think that everyone that goes into this kind of work, into this kind of field, they're more intrinsically motivated by things that are rewarding, right? So they want to meet these challenges. They want to think about things to help better the world and better themselves and help their communities. And it's not necessarily a question of should you, but these challenges really need you, right? So with that said, I also would just like to challenge everyone here today to at least make a couple of contacts that you will continue to speak with, not just the people at the booths, but also the other people that are here exploring, right? Because this is your community. These are the people that you'll see down the road, not just at the school, but further down the line in your career. So with that said, thank you to America and thank you to everybody else that's here for the schools. And I look forward to seeing you all be at the SIPA booth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cameron. And now I want to invite our moderator for tonight, our advisor in EducationUSA, Ms. Vina Alatas.
Thank you, Santika. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Really happy to see you guys here with us here at Amerika. So my name is Vina. I'm one of the advisors for EducationUSA here at Amerika. And any first-timers here? Baru pertama kali, there you go, one of the alumni actually. She's going to be at the Harvard table. Anybody else? Baru pertama kali ke sini? Welcome, welcome. And I'm gonna talk just a little bit about what EducationUSA is. If you just wonder, like, what is this event? What is this place? So basically, we are part of the State Department. We have over 400 international student advising centers in more than 170 countries. So basically what we do is we provide information for everybody who wants to study in the US, S1, S2, S3. So in Indonesia, of course, not only here at America, but we actually have 8 centers with 10 advisors throughout Indonesia. So we have 2 in Jakarta, which is here at America and at the US Embassy. We also have 2 in Surabaya. We got 1 in Medan, Malang, Makassar, and Banda Aceh. So if you have any family members or one of your friends who live in one of these cities, you can tell them that they don't always have to come to America. They don't always have to come to Jakarta, but they can actually check one of these cities as well. But what's unique about this space is actually we open every day. From 1 to 9, you don't have to make any appointment. You can just come in, and it's a public space. It's in a mall, great location, right? But you can also meet 2 of our advisors at the US Embassy. It's just that you have to make an appointment 24 hours before to gain an access to get inside the US Embassy. All right, so what kind of our services that we provide with EducationUSA? We have 5 steps, starting from research your options. So you know that you want to study in the US, but you still don't know where to start. Please come in, let's sit down together and let's talk about some of the options for you to continue your study. And then finance your studies is equally important. There are a lot of scholarships out there. Let's talk about that as well. And then after that, completing your application, that's actually one of my favorite parts. I can review your essay, I can take a look, give feedback on your essay, take a look at your resume, CV, and so on, where to take the test and everything else. And so after that, you come back to me and you said, Fina, I got accepted. This is actually one of the quietest moments here, one of the quietest seasons here at America, because I don't really receive a lot of people doing advising, but I've been receiving emails from the past advisees telling us that, hey, I got accepted here, I got accepted there, so this is like one of my favorite time of the year. And so I really hope you're going to be one of them in the near future, I really hope so. And then moving on, we're going to talk about how to apply for your student visa. Cameron actually is working at the Visa Council. He's actually one of the who interviewing people. So later on, he's going to be at the Columbia table. If you want to, learn more how to maintain your student visa, how hard it is, you can definitely talk more about that. But also feel free to come to America, and we can have a chat about that, because applying for the student visa to the US is actually not as complicated, not as scary as everyone might think. It's very straightforward. It's very fast, and so. Yeah, and then last tab is prepare for your departure. That's one of my favorite time of the year as well. It's basically for anybody who is going to the US in the coming term, which is like in fall. We're going to have like a half-a-day event for you, and we're going to talk about stuff that you guys need to do before leaving, the first few things that international students need to do when they get to the US, and so on. We're going to invite alumni. We're going to also invite someone from the visa as well to talk about, again, how to maintain your visa and so on. But then again, if you are not planning to leave to the US like this coming fall, because all of our events here at America is open for public, you guys are definitely more than welcome to also join. This year, we're going to have it in May 25th, but I'm definitely going to give you a reminder when we're very close to the date. All right, let's see. If this is your first time here, which I think we only have 2 people in the room, but if you want to know more of our upcoming events, please go to educationusa.state.gov website, or obviously at America website as well. There's one advisor at the moment, that's going to be myself, but this is our office hours here. We open every day from 1 until 9, except for Saturday, we actually start a bit early, so from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. I would also like to tell you very briefly about one of our programs called EducationUSA Indonesia Targeted Advising Group. So basically, we started it in 2015 called Mentorship Program, but last year we changed our name to TAG. Basically, it's a platform for anybody who wants to study in the US, but you guys need like an extra guidance in the application process. So it's kind of like similar to when you do like one-on-one advising with myself here at America, but it's just that it's going to be more intensive. And on top of that, we're actually going to connect you with basically the alumni probably that you're going to see tonight. So we're going to match you with one of the alumni or one of the current students who are currently studying in the US. So for example, you want to study, I don't know, chemical engineering at University of Minnesota. And so we'll take a look at our database. Oh, we actually have someone from the same program and from that same university. We're going to connect you with that person. We actually have over 450 alumni on our database. So we actually have a lot of alumni from different programs. So please consider joining this program if you think that, yes, I'm ready to apply to the US and I really need that extra guidance from the advisors and the current students or the alumni. So who are we looking for? Basically everybody. Everybody who is technically ready to apply, right? Ready to apply and you just need that extra help, right? And if you're interested, you can definitely check fill this form for us, bit.do/edusa-indo-tag, or you can email us at adamerika@educationusa.or.id, or I'll be around after discussion, and if you want to know more about it, I'll be very happy to answer some questions. And I'll be very quick, guys. I've been talking for very fast now. But next month, I just want to let you guys know about our upcoming events called How to Apply to US Universities. If you are in the process of, well, or maybe not in the process, kind of like, yeah, I kind of like want to try to apply to US universities this year for fall 2020, but you just, you know, don't know where to start. I don't know like the different deadline that I've been looking at this websites, like the next few steps that I need to do, how to pick the universities. Definitely this event is going to be for you. I'm giving the presentation on basically everything. Different type of schools, target schools, safety schools, dream schools, different type of schools with different acceptance rate, right? So we're going to talk a lot in this event. And then the next week after that, we are going to talk, this is basically for those of you who wants to continue your master's or PhD, because you definitely need resume, but if you're still in high school and you want to continue your bachelor degree, you definitely need the letter of recommendation, so maybe this is also for you. So we're going to take a look at how to make the resume, the US version, not the Indonesian version where you put pictures and nationality or your status single or not. You actually don't need that. So you're gonna take a look at kind of the US resume and the and CV in this event. And I think that's it. I'm done with the introduction, and this is like where I'm calling up all the alumni from each campuses that will join us later on. So this is going to be like a very short discussion. I just want to allow them to kind of like talk about the program from their alma mater and why they choose that specific program. And then after that, probably I'm gonna take, a few questions, and then the night will actually start outside when you will basically, meet them and continue talking with them on their table. Okay, so I'm just gonna mention the names first, and I'm gonna call up the panelists to come to the stage. So we have Matthew Borden, alumni, Master of Public Policy from Duke University. We also have Rachmat Fathoni, an alumni, Master of Public Policy and Management from Carnegie Mellon University. We have Ivana Rachmawati, well, all of them are alumni, Master of Public Administration from Harvard University. We have Heru Yuda, Master of Arts in International Affairs, Johns Hopkins University. Mohammad Al-Arief, Global Master of Arts Program from Tufts University, and Harold Panangian, Master of Public Policy from University of Michigan. We have Triana Krisandini, Master of International Affairs from Columbia University. And last but not least, we have Mutiara Alam, Master of International Development Policy from Georgetown University. So can we give a round of applause for these panelists to come up to the stage? Please take a seat. You can see it everywhere, absolutely. All right, so where to start? I'm gonna start randomly, probably, but I will forget because we have like so many of you guys on the stage. But you know what? I'll start from Harold. Harold, please tell us a little bit about when did you graduate and why did you pick this program and why Michigan?
Alright.
Pakai bahasa Indonesia boleh, bahasa Inggris juga boleh, silahkan.
Okay. Jadi bingung nih. Okay. I'll just use English. Okay. I'm Harold. Hello everybody. I'm from the University of Michigan, the Gerald Ford School of Public Policy. I just graduated last year. I spent 2 years there in the Masters of Public Policy there. And so, what was your question again? Sorry.
Why specific University of Michigan and?
Okay. So when I started applying, I just got a scholarship actually from my office, which was like a fund from the World Bank. And the first thing I did was consult with some of my seniors and some alumni as well. So one of the, I actually at that time didn't know anything about public policy and international affairs programs in the US, so I was completely blank. But one of the names that always came up, even from the professors, was Michigan, especially because my background was from accounting economics. So that was one factor, and then so I studied up the syllabus. I found out that it had an excellent international affairs program as well as econ, and also because I was interested in research and quantitative analysis, it had one of the best policy, policy-related studies in the U.S. So, yeah, probably that's actually why. I also applied to a few others as well, though. Yeah.
Okay, and lastly, tell us why the audience here should apply to Michigan.
Because it's Michigan. Go blue. So, well, if you're looking for a really nice place to stay, a little city that's not too crowded and far away from the hustle and bustle, but not too remote, I guess one of the best places would be Ann Arbor. It has an excellent environment, and the people there are really nice. And also, if you want to learn outside of the studies there, if you want to learn about football, go to Michigan, right? Yeah, because we're one of the big football schools in the U.S. as well, I guess, and also other sports as well. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Harold. Give a round of applause for Harold. Thank you. So can we go on with Mutiara Alam? So
Hello.
now we go to DC, I believe, because you
Yes.
graduated from Georgetown. So
Yeah.
please talk a little bit from. There you go, Georgetown alumni, yay! So yeah, please talk about when did you graduate, about your program, and how did you end up in Georgetown?
Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Alam. I graduated last year in 2018 from Master of International Development Policy at McCourt School of Public Policy. I actually, one of the biggest reason of me coming to Georgetown is because I'm kind of scouted by the program director. So he has like a very personal touch to, like when he messaged me and he told me his stories about Indonesia and how, he wants me to be there, of course. But I think it's actually what I was looking for. So the program itself is a small program, which is only 20 people, which I actually look for because I like small-knit communities, so we are very close with each other. And then, so the professor is also like 10, around 10, so it's very easy for me to meet with them for lunch, dinner, or coffee. And then, and the program itself, of course, because my interest is in international development, and we have a lot of international development programs in the US, but I'm interested in more quantitative leaning program where, I get trained on statistics, econometrics, all that kind of stuff that, I was thinking if I didn't go to school for that, I wouldn't learn about it because it's just too hard to learn by myself. And also, I guess DC has like a charm because it's where the World Bank headquarters are. It's where a lot of international organizations are based on, and also it's very easy for us to work while studying in those organizations or in campus. So a lot of my classmates actually work during the program, so it's very easy for us to meet with them and talk to them about everything. So yeah.
All right, so if you definitely want to learn more about this program, we have Georgetown table outside as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Alam. And then I believe now we're going to Pittsburgh,
Yes.
the Carnegie Mellon University.
Yes.
Okay, so Rachmat, please tell us a little bit about the program and why Carnegie Mellon. I know a lot of people here haven't really heard about Carnegie Mellon that often, but we actually have a number of Indonesian alumni in Carnegie Mellon, right? So yeah, please.
Hey everyone, my name is Rachmat. I took Master of Public Policy and Management at Carnegie Mellon University. Compared to other universities, I think we don't have that much of Indonesian students there. I think it's about 25 when I was there.
Is it like in the campus overall, or in this specific program?
Campus overall, so we don't have much, but we do have a club or something like that. So that's also part of the reason why I chose Carnegie Mellon, because I don't want to depend on there are Indonesian people there, so I don't want to be friend only with my Indonesian fellows. But then I ended up finding one of the best Indonesian communities in the United States, because it's not a big city. Pittsburgh is not a big city, but also it's not rural. So it's we have a great sports teams. So I think if you want to watch ice hockey or footballs, baseball, we do have all of the great teams in Pittsburgh, though it's not really good anymore now, but we used to be great. We used to be great. So you can see we used to be great. So it's like a good addition to programs that I took. It's the same with Georgetown. We also have a very quantitative leaning program. We do have a lot of statistics, microeconomics, and stuff like that. But part of the reason why I wanted to take this program in Carnegie Mellon is because I worked for the Ministry of Energy prior to study public policy, and then so I really wanted to make sure that the university has an addition in an energy program also. And I found that Carnegie Mellon has one of those, because Pittsburgh actually has one of the biggest, largest shale gas development. So that one of the biggest, and it's the only shale gas development in the world, I think, at that time. So and Indonesia at that time wanted to pursue shale gas exploration also, even though that I think right now we don't have the money. But because it's very expensive, but I think it's very interesting to learn how the energy sector play in a policy area in Carnegie Mellon, in Indonesia and in the United States. So that's part of big reason why I took that program.
All right, thank you, Rahma. So if you want to learn more about Carnegie Mellon, Rahma will be outside. And let's move on to Matt. Now we're going to North Carolina. So Matt is, we can guess, the only American here, the US citizen here. So Matt, please tell us a little bit about the program. How did you end up at Duke? And what are you doing here in Indonesia?
Ya, betul ya. Can you hear
Bahasa
me?
Indonesia juga?
Bisa. So can you hear me okay? Okay. I guess I could start by saying there's actually a variety of programs at Duke University, the Sanford School of Public Policy. And I am an alumni of the MPP, the Master of Public Policy program. We also have the Master of International Development program. And my friend Sosro over here, he can tell you more about that over at the booth after this talk. And to give you an idea of the programs, the core classes are microeconomics, statistics, policy analysis, and then we have special concentrations within each of those programs. And so I chose the MPP program at Duke because my interest was in energy and environment policy. And so that actually brought me back to Indonesia for my internship, which was with the UNEP. And so I was studying deforestation and how can we halt this kind of problem in Kalimantan. And after my graduation, I was lucky enough to find myself back in Indonesia. I'm currently working as a research analyst at the World Bank.
All right, so please tell us why should people go to Duke?
Why go to Duke? I'd say one of the reasons that I chose Duke is because it's such a tight-knit community, perhaps also like at Georgetown. It's about 50 people in the MPP program, and I made friendships, that'll last a lifetime.
All right, thank you so much, Matthew.
Thank you.
And definitely, Duke table is outside. And now, New York. So please tell us about Columbia and how did you end up there, the program itself, and...
Okay, thank you. My name is Yana. I'm an alumni from Columbia School of International Public Affairs, SIPA. If you like to be in a quaint, quiet city and surrounded with tight-knit community, don't go to Columbia. It's New York, it's messy, it's loud, it's very energetic, it's people screaming at you in the morning at 7 a.m. But if you love that energy, that's actually one of the reasons why I pick the schools. I've always been wanting to live and wanting to go to New York, and this is probably one of the best schools there is there. But it being in the northern part of Manhattan, it's quite actually in the Harlem area, it still gives you the campus is beautiful. It has a very collegial feel, but you're still in the middle of the city. So you get the best of both worlds. Why? And also, because it being in New York, there's always so many things going on in there. Everyone coming in and out of New York. And one of the good things is that your professor, if their friend, the CEO of what, or the minister of certain country stops by during the UN General Assembly, they can hey, if you have 2 hours, can you stop by and talk to the students in my class? These are the things that being in New York is definitely very beneficial. And of course, the program itself is also great. I'm an international affairs alumni, but there's also public administration. There's different concentrations and within the program. It's a large school, and yeah, it's cool. You got to meet celebrity professors like Stiglitz and during coffee, and Jagdish Bhagwati. If you like these professors, then you can meet them at school. So, yes, if you're interested, please stop by in the table, and we'll be there.
All right, thank you, Triana. And then now we're going to Massachusetts, Harvard,
Yes.
Ivana. So please tell us a little bit about how did you end up there. And I mean, Harvard, is one of the campuses that everybody's, know about. And almost a lot of people come to America and they think, Harvard is not for me. I don't think I can get in. So you're one of the alumni to Harvard. So please tell us about how the application process was like and everything, and why Harvard, the program itself, and.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Ivana. I just graduated from Harvard Kennedy School last year actually in May, and just come back here. And the Harvard Kennedy School actually have 4 programs. It's MPP or Master Public Policy, MPA for 2 years, Master Public Administration, and mid-career MPA. It's for professional. My friends here from mid-career MPA, Niruban. You can talk to him if you're interested. And also from Indonesian, there are a lot of mid-career MPA. They're very, very famous person like Mas Agus Harimurti or Bayani Wahid, those kind of people, like royal blood and things like that. And myself, I just graduated from Master Public Administration in International Development. So it's a program that highly centered into economic training, I would say. So the reason that I applied to, it's sort of as an MPA ID or Master Administration in Public Administration in International Development, sorry. So yeah, I applied for that program because Harvard doesn't have Master in Economy. So I did economics in undergrad, but Harvard only have PhD in econ. And thankfully they have this MPID program, which our first year is nearly the same as PhD in econ for first year. So we did have the same courses in microeconomics, same professor, the same syllabus and things like that. So I think that's why I applied to that program. And also, yeah, you mentioned that, oh, Harvard is not for me and whatever. So that's exactly the problem, I think, for most Indonesian. You know, like most of the people ask me, how did you get into Harvard? I applied. Right? So that's
Everybody else.
yeah, like I applied. You cannot get into some school not applying. So that's the problem, right? And people are just like, oh, Harvard is too difficult. You know, I believe I cannot get in and whatever. Like, let me tell you, I'm not perfect in my GPA. I did pretty good in undergrad, but not perfect. And I wasn't the best as well. And also my GMAT and my GRE was not perfect as well, but it's pretty good, I would say. Yeah, it's Harvard. You cannot, just apply not having, good academic record, but you don't have to be the best, I would say, and just try.
Would you say that the essay plays a big role?
Yes, that's also, like my, I would say that essay is also play a big role in Harvard because, I know that most of my friends have, like everyone who applied in Harvard, they have like perfect score, perfect GMAT, perfect GRE, and perfect GPA. But then when it comes to experience, I don't think they have the depth in experience that they did before. And I would say that Harvard do care about those things, like when you have a big impact in society or like, your work experience somewhat inspiring. And yeah, Harvard is definitely will consider that because, like the way Harvard look at you is like, oh, you want us to be at your CV and Harvard also wants you to be in their CV. So for example, so that's kind of like, win-win solution. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Ivana.
Yeah.
So you're gonna learn more about Harvard outside.
Just talk to me. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, thank you so much. And now we're still staying in Massachusetts with Pak Mohammad Al-Arief here with us from Tufts University. So thank you for coming and please tell us a little bit about the program and why did you choose Tufts in the first place?
Okay, thank you very much. As you probably know, I'm probably the youngest in this group, and you notice that she only called me Pa and not the rest. So my experience is actually very unique because I decided to go back to school as a mid-career. After 20 years of professional experience at the World Bank Group, at one point I was the most senior Indonesian at the World Bank Group in Washington, D.C. I went through a midlife crisis and I said, I miss school. I need to go back to school. And then I realized that, having all this experience on public policy and so forth, I need to hone in on my diplomacy, negotiating skills, international relations, and so forth. So I decided to, and fortunately there was I decided that I need to go back to school and learn about all these things. I shortlisted 3 schools. One is the Georgetown Walsh School of International Service. Another is Johns Hopkins SAIS, and the last is Tufts University's Fletcher School of International Law and Diplomacy. I ended up going to the later because I found it to be a really, really nice school. Close-knit, very small body of students, quality professor, and the interactions just amazing. Fletcher is one of the oldest school that's dedicated for international relations in the U.S. I am biased, it is the best. And it was established in 1933. It's even older than the United Nations. So you can imagine, the quality of tacit knowledge that's already embedded in the school. So in my 40s, I decided to go back to school, and it turned out to be the right program because, They designed the program for mid-career professionals. We had about 35 people in my cohort. We had about 6 serving ambassadors in my cohort. We had CEOs. We had, senior people in my cohort. So it's the interaction with the faculty is one thing. The things that you learn is one thing, but it's the network that you built during that 1-year program. It's amazing. It turned out to be the best decision I've ever made going to Fletcher because after about 20 years being a diaspora overseas, working in international organization, I decided to move back here to my country and serve my country as special advisor to our Ministry of Finance at quite a senior position. And also commissioner of an SOE, BUMN, that's focused on infrastructure finance. And on a daily basis, diplomacy, negotiations is the bread and butter of my work. So actually the program itself is a nice, it's a nice program that looks at the nexus between public policy and international relations. So if you're in a position mid-career or where you represent your country in negotiation, economic policies, and so forth, I think this is a skill that you really need. But in addition to that mid-career program that I was telling you about, they also have a program that's geared towards more the younger crowd. They have the MALD, Master of Art for Law and Diplomacy, LLM program that's focused more on international law, also a PhD program. So Fletcher is definitely the place for international relations for me.
Thank you so much. So you can definitely learn about TUFTS later on. And last but not least, we're actually staying in the East Coast, yeah, in the area and Midwest. We got 2 Midwest here. We don't have anybody from the West Coast. But last but not least, we're going to Maryland. We're going to Baltimore, Johns Hopkins. This is really interesting because when you hear Johns Hopkins, you usually, yeah?
You're stealing my pitch.
Okay, yeah. Oh, there you go. All right, I'm stealing it. Okay, I'm not going to say anything, but Johns Hopkins, everybody.
Good evening, selamat malam. Nama saya Heru Yuda. I graduated from Johns Hopkins University. I'm studying one of the schools that Pak Arief considered at Paulni's School of Advanced International Studies. So Vina asked me what is the reason that I went there. So first I would like to claim that I also went to Georgetown to get some cupcakes. But there are 3 reasons that why I choose SAIS at that time. The first is an international political center. It's where the White House is. It's the headquarters of the World Bank where I met Pak Arief at the time, working as the most senior Indonesian in the organization. Also where I get to meet Bu Ani at the time, also the most senior leading in World Bank management. Obama was shopping for a burger at Shake Shack, just right around the corner from SAIS. So it's really the place where international events, political, taking center, front and center. And at the time, my professor was working closely with the Myanmar government when they started to open up. And before President Thein Sein went to the White House to meet Obama, he actually gave us a talk at SAIS. So it really becomes like the center. It exposed me to a lot of network of political leaders like what I've been mentioned, also like Christine Lagarde and many other at that time. The second one I really like about the curriculum. It's not heavy on theory. It's what people call pracademics, practicality and academics. So they get quite balanced between what is going to be practical when you're working later on in your professional careers, and some basic academic foundations to prepare you for that journey. And last but not least, actually, I got also accepted to Michigan at the time. And I asked the professor, which one should I choose? And he told me to choose SAIS. So I went there.
Right. And yeah, so I just need to clarify because Johns Hopkins University is in Baltimore, but the SAIS is actually in DC.
Yes. So Hopkins is very famous for its medical school. And people also know because of Bloomberg that founded the Bloomberg terminal. He went to the engineering school at Johns Hopkins. That's the Baltimore campus. But SAIS is actually initiated in around 1960s by the former Secretary of War of the United States. They want to bring younger people from all over the world to come and talk together to solve problems, global problems. And I think quite recently, SAIS has, I think, acquired a new building very close to the Congress. It's currently the place for a very famous news museum in DC called Museum. So our campus will be relocated closer to the White House and the Congress. And also last year, we inaugurated a new center that is called the Kissinger Center for Global Public Policy. So if you're students of international affairs, I shouldn't have told you who Henry Kissinger is, right?
All right, thank you so much. Can we get another round of applause? And so we have all these panelists. Definitely going to see them outside. Probably like a very short Q&A. Kalau misalnya ada yang mau bertanya. Yes.
Selamat malam, nama saya Dwi Pratiwi. Saya ingin menanyakan ke Mbak Ivana. Mbak Ivana, yang saya tahu program yang Mbak apply itu, yang Mbak just graduate from that very luxurious majors itu sangat susah sekali ya Mbak untuk masuk. Yang saya baca dari blog-blog orang sana bilang kalau mau masuk jurusan Mbak itu harus genius in economics. Dan GMAT-nya harus, math-nya itu harus extremely high. Mbak bilang enggak perfect or ya gitu-gitu. Emang berapa ya Mbak ya skor GMAT-nya kalau boleh tahu? Jadi saya bisa comparison gitu Mbak dengan kemampuan saya dan kalau saya sih itu yang pertama, GMAT-nya Mbak berapa? Kuantitatifnya berapa? Verbalnya berapa? To be exact, and isainya berapa? Soalnya saya a big issue di GMAT sebenarnya Mbak. Tapi saya pengen banget di jurusan itu sebenarnya ya I just try my best. Dan yang kedua Mbak, Mbak isengnya soal apa ya? Dan kalau saya kerja di bidang di energi juga, saya di renewable energy di Kementerian SDM di renewable energy. Saya tidak ada spesifik di ekonomik sih Mbak, karena kan di situ kata orang di blog-blog yang saya baca harus ekonomiknya benar-benar bagus. Saya nggak ada, cuman somehow saya juga belajar dengan bisnis, renewable energy business.
Are you engineer?
No, international affairs. Ya, dan ya itu tadi isainya harus seperti apa, experience-nya Mbak sebelumnya apa gitu, bisa gitu. Terima kasih.
Alright, so let's a little bit deeper question. Thank you, Dwi. First question about my GMAT, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. In my program, the MPID, it's specifically required in the website. If you have a look in the website, that your quantitative section has to be above 88 percentile, right? So it's like quite high, I would say, because like what it means by 88 percentile is that all of the people that took GMAT or GRE, you are ranked above 88 of those million people that took GMAT and GRE, right? So I talked to my friends actually when I was there. Did you guys have below 88 percentile in quantitative? And I didn't find anyone that has scored below 88 percentile. So because my program is quite quantitative, I'm not sure about other programs. So there are three other programs in HKS, right? MPP, MPA, and MCMPA. But for MPID, it specifically said so. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but you have to try harder and keep practicing in GMAT and GRE. So from my experience and from my personal experience, I did both. So they allow GMAT or GRE. But I did GMAT first because I was aiming for HBS. Yeah, when I was applying, I thought like, oh, HBS is kind of cool. And then, my GMAT is not pretty good at the overall score for HBS. I'm not saying like for other schools, but if I were to apply to HBS, it's not that good, right? So I was considering other program school as well, and people keep saying that, oh, your GMAT is not good enough even for HKS, for like MPID program. So I took GRE, and then from my personal experience, GRE is a lot easier than GMAT because I didn't prepare anything for GRE, and I got like, no, I'm not gonna say, but yeah, I mean, like if you were trying to do GRE, probably it's gonna be easier if you firstly study GMAT first, right? So that's for the first question. For the second question, it's about my essay. So I was working in one of the state-owned enterprises bank in here in Indonesia. And then I was involved in a kind of government program, government credit program, microcredit program, and then fortunately there was change in administration between President SBY and Jokowi. So you know, like all policy got changed and everything. So and then because I was working in that bank and I was close to the board as well, and the board asked me to help in that transition policies. So yeah, I was just, you know, like doing the best. And that's what I wrote in my essays as well. And then, yeah, you know, like for me, the way Harvard look at your essays, like how big impact you can get, because, you know, like everyone who is applying there is like rocket scientist, you know, you cannot differentiate yourself if you don't have unique experience, I would say. And yeah, just be honest on, you know, what you did. And also, it would be good as well if in your reference letter says the same thing. You know, like your reference letter is kind of like others' perspective of you. So it's basically the same thing, right? The object that you're telling in your essays is from your perspective, but then from the reference letter is the same object that they are describing, but from others' point of view. So kind of like that. So it's better be, you know, like some way or another connected. Is that yeah? Is there any follow-up questions?
And then maybe we can chat more later outside.
It's kind of
yeah,
like
no, thank you so much. Yeah, maybe one last question to the other alumni. Okay, masa di depan. Wait for the mic. And then don't worry, guys. After this, you guys can ask as many questions to this wonderful panelist.
Oke, nama saya Dias. Saya pengen nanya gini, jadi kemarin juga sempat study di US, meskipun programnya kayak YCLI, saya sempat 1 semester di Arizona State University, dan juga sempat berkunjung ke beberapa kampus kayak Harvard, terus juga MIT dan juga Columbia. Dan saya mau nanya ke Mbak yang dari Columbia, saya lupa namanya siapa Mbak. Nah jadi kemarin tuh udah apply lagi gitu, udah masuk ke tahap kedua, cuman kemarin terkendala masalah IELTS, saya belum tes IELTS, dan juga saya harus nunggu sampai 2020 sampai visa saya bisa diaktifin lagi kayak gitu. Nah menurut Mbak sendiri, sembari saya nunggu ini ada nggak sih hal yang mungkin bisa bisa jadi masukan buat saya untuk bisa lebih nanti apply lagi bisa lebih terima? Apakah saya harus kerja dulu dan kerja itu harus disesuai dengan saya mau ngambil CUSW, Columbia School of Social Work, dan menurut Mbak sendiri kayak apakah saya harus punya pengalaman kerja yang related dengan hal tersebut, atau saya mungkin bisa bekerja yang mungkin jauh lebih corporate base atau mungkin lebih ke social base. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua ini mungkin buat semua. Jadi kemarin tuh pilihan saya cuma ada 2, antara di kampus itu atau di Australia. Saya mengambil community development di salah satu kampus di Victoria, Melbourne. Cuma masalahnya kemarin adalah orang tua saya nggak setuju ngambil di sana karena kalau kita lihat dari QS ranking, itu kalau menurut orang tua saya kayak ngapain kamu S2, tapi secara ranking itu jauh dibandingkan ketika dibandingin sama kampus saya S1. Saya S1 di Indo, tapi secara ranking kampus saya S1 tuh jauh lebih tinggi dibandingkan kampus S2 saya di, misalkan saya ngambil di Australia gitu. Dan ibu orang tua saya masih ngerasa kayak, ya kamu dengan S2 dalam aja kayak gitu di kampus saya yang kemarin saya study, ketimbang kamu S2 di luar, tapi secara ranking itu jauh banget 300 lebih ke bawah. Tapi itu S2 di luar gitu. So menurut Mbak di depan atau Mas kayak better mana sih ketika kita S2 di luar, tapi mungkin secara QS ranking tidak sejauh dibandingkan kampus kita dalam kayak S1 atau tetap di luar karena itu memang punya prestasi di luar kayak gitu. Dan juga terakhir, saya tadi baca ada sebuah report dari Huffington Post yang bilang bahwasanya tidak semua majority student di Ivy League itu memiliki kemampuan yang jauh lebih spesial ketimbang mahasiswa yang non di Ivy League. Nah, apakah juga hal itu juga diamini oleh kedua mbak-mbak yang kuliah di Ivy League kayak gitu, atau emang itu ya sekedar kayak persepsi orang terhadap beberapa contoh student yang emang studi di Ivy League tapi emang tidak sejauh bagus secara kualitas kayak gitu. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Mas pertanyaannya. Jadi menjawab pertanyaan yang pertama dulu, kira-kira bisa mengisi waktu dengan ngapain? Menurut saya ini sangat general ya, tetapi yang membedakan kita S1 dengan S2 itu adalah nanti teorinya sih mungkin sama, kecuali memang kita ambil jurusannya berbeda ya. Tapi yang membuat kaya itu adalah diskusi di dalam kelas. Dan yang membuat kaya diskusi itu adalah ketika setiap muridnya datang dengan pengalaman-pengalaman yang juga kaya. Sehingga nanti di kelas pengalaman kayanya kita dengan teman, dengan guru itu menjadi satu dan kita menjadi belajar suatu hal yang sangat baru dan menarik dan berguna dan relevan dengan kehidupan yang sekarang dan permasalahan yang ada di dunia sekarang. Jadi if you think that you don't have that much experience yet atau bisa belajar lebih banyak lagi untuk bisa kontribusi di dalam kelas nantinya, then definitely do it. Itu bisa dengan berbagai macam cara, bisa volunteer, bisa kerja, you can do research, but anything that you will do itu menurut saya itu yang bisa menambah pengalaman di diri kita sehingga nanti again di kelas kita punya banyak yang bisa kita share ke teman-teman dan ke faculty di dalam kelas dan di lingkungan sekolah. Itu pertanyaan pertama. Yang terakhir mengenai Ivy League dan non Ivy League, sebenarnya itu kembali ke masing-masing ya. Saya merasa semua sekolah itu pasti bagus, tergantung kita kepinginnya yang seperti apa. Makanya it's very 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 important to really know the school that you're applying. Sometimes sekolah memang bagus secara ranking, secara teori, tetapi is it you? Itu karena sekolahnya sendiri juga nggak bisa bring the best out in you kalau memang tidak cocok juga dengan apa yang Mas pengenin atau yang lain pengenin gitu. Jadi sekarang akses ke informasi lebih mudah, jadi sebanyak-banyaknya mencari informasi, bisa ketemu existing students, alumni yang ada di sini dan mencari tahu apakah sekolah ini tuh cocok buat saya supaya nantinya the school can bring out the best in me gitu.
Anybody wants to add? Yeah, sure.
Soal Ivy League dan non Ivy League ya. Jadi I think if you're not accepted at an Ivy League school, you should say that they're not as lucky to have you, gitu ya. Dan it doesn't matter. You know, at the end of the day it's your life's work that matters ya. Tapi yang paling penting adalah juga menghone in the actual program that you're going to take ya. Karena orang kadang-kadang suka fokus kepada brand besarnya. Tapi sekolahnya itu harus dicari, majornya, jurusannya, dan where does that program stack up in the overall scheme of things gitu misalnya. I chose Fletcher karena untuk international relations, that's the place to go. I mean the master's program is the 6th best in the world, the PhD is the 25th. Harvard kebetulan nggak ada program seperti itu. Jadi it really depends on the program yang akan diambil gitu. Jadi memang seperti my colleague mentioned, you really have to hone in and study the actual program that you're gonna take dan di mana tempat terbaik untuk belajar gitu.
Satu lagi kalau boleh ditambahkan buat Ivy League, this is not a sour graping ya, because Johns Hopkins is not an Ivy League school. Tapi yang perlu diketahui tentang Ivy League, what is it Ivy League? Ivy League itu actually about a football program that was set up in the early 1900s, right? Jadi it doesn't define the current landscape of higher educations in the US. And when you apply, I think ranking is one way to look at things, but I think it's only the beginning when you start to finding out more about the school's modern program. But I think two things you need to find within yourself first. What problem that you're trying to solve? where you can find the best solution to solve that problem, and find it through these schools. If you find that solution with the schools, go for it. Don't worry about rankings.
All right, so can we get another round of applause for this wonderful panelist? I don't want to keep everyone here in this room. I'm pretty sure you guys are dying to be outside and learn more about these campuses. So I'm gonna give you back to America, and then we're gonna have like photo session together, and then the night will start. Thank you guys for coming, and then please have fun and enjoy.
Okay, thank you everyone for sharing and encouraging everybody here to study and aim for higher. And now we will take pictures together. And thank you everybody for coming in today. I will see you in our next events. And we will do the networking outside after this, and have a great evening. Thank you everybody, bye.